Russia's blitzkrieg is nearly complete. The next question is, how do you wrap up this war? Right now, Vladimir Putin holds all the cards. Broadly speaking, he has three options. Number one, remove Zelensky and install a puppet leader, sort of like a coup. Option number two, keep Zelensky but force Ukraine to abandon its NATO ambition. Or number three, a direct occupation. That last one is highly unlikely. Putin knows the cost of occupying a country. There will be a full-blown pushback. The West will likely funnel weapons and funds. So effectively, that leaves two options, a coup or a neutrality clause. Which way will Vladimir Putin go? His foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, dropped a hint today. He says Zelensky is not being honest about the neutral status.
Last December, we suggested to discuss security guarantees, and Volodymyr Zelensky was well aware of this. He didn't want to fulfill that obligation as much as his Western patrons didn't want to comply with the commitment contained in these words. And everybody was repeatedly saying that the right to choose an alliance is sacred to defend Ukraine. So now he's lying to you when he says that he's ready to discuss the neutral status of Ukraine.
So here's where things stand. Putin wants to create a neutral Ukraine, but not under Zelensky. He basically wants Kyiv to do two things. One, demilitarize or dismantle their military capabilities. And two, become a neutral state between Russia and NATO. Zelensky has already said he's ready for talks, and Putin has responded. He's open to sending a high-level delegation to Minsk. I have to say this does not look good for Ukraine. Zelensky is losing on the battlefield. No two ways about this. Those losses cannot be reversed at the negotiation table. As for Putin, he is winning on the battlefield and he will not sacrifice those wins at the negotiation table. So whichever way you look at it, it's a loss for Ukraine. Chances are Putin will make humiliating demands. Joining the NATO will be out of the question, of course. Ukraine's military may be dismantled. The constitution may be changed. On paper, it will be neutral, but effectively, Ukraine will be Russia's satellite state. And this is a dangerous template. You cannot redraw borders with force. You cannot negotiate by waging war. Vladimir Putin is single-handedly ripping up international rules. If Ukraine surrenders, if Ukraine is forced to become a neutral state, it will no doubt encourage other rogue nations. But all of that is in the future. For now, let's return to the battlefield in Ukraine. How will Putin wrap up this war? Well, here's what Ukrainian intel reports claim. This is what they believe is going to happen. Step one, Russia will intensify attacks along the border. This will draw Ukrainian troops away from Kyiv towards the border. Step two, Russia will capture an airport near Kyiv. They've already done that. They've ticked this box. The Hostomel airbase is under Russian control, as we just told you. Step three, cut electricity and create panic in Kyiv. Russia is hoping for arson and looting in the city. This is Ukrainian intelligence. Step four, a cyber attack on Ukrainian government agencies, basically cripple their ability to communicate with the people. Step five, use refugees to block highways out of Kyiv. This would make it hard for Ukrainian soldiers to enter the capital. How will the troops move? The highways will be blocked. Step six, capture government buildings. Step seven, seize the leadership and force them to sign a peace deal. And this peace deal could be a partition, East and West Ukraine, like East and West Germany. Having said all of this, we have to remember one thing. This is war. Nobody can predict if things will play out exactly the same. But here's what we can say. If Putin stays on the battlefield, he is guaranteed success. If he opts for diplomacy, he may not succeed. So why would Putin abandon a winning position? He won't. Plus, will Putin be happy with partitioning Ukraine? We all know what happened in Germany. West Germany flourished while the East suffered. Does Vladimir Putin want to risk another Berlin Wall? Whatever happens next will happen on Russia's terms, that's for sure, on Russia's timetable and based on Russia's interests. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.